Hello and welcome to the Made in Africa podcast. I'm your host, Kemeshi Samuel. And in the studio here with us today, we have Samuel Oghenejaboh. Oghenejaboh. So sorry about that. Because Benin, you're from Benin, yeah?
No, Delta.
Jesus Christ, I'm getting everything wrong today.
Yeah, I see.
So, but the interesting thing about Benin and Delta tribe, their names is you always can place them in any one of those two states.
Well,
right?
it
Very
happens.
distinct quality or characteristics
Yeah,
to their
it
names.
happens. Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to the show.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. Please introduce yourself and your company.
All right. I'm Samuel Oghenejaboh, popularly known as Sammy Flo, the only one in Africa. Any other Sammy Flo is out of Africa. Yeah. Thank you. So I'm the CEO of Flo and MyMuute. MyMuute is a platform that helps musicians, connect musicians with gigs. Basically, we like to see it as democratizing luck for musicians. Creatives in general, starting with musicians. And when we talk about musicians here, we're talking about not the big artists, the Burna Boy, the Wizkid. We're talking about the musicians who make the artists who they are, the guitarist who play for Burna Boy, the drummer who plays for Tiwa Savage, the pianist who plays in your church every Sunday. That depends on the church for their weekly 20K.
I mean, that is fantastic because so a friend of mine, we were discussing, this was early last year, but unlike music, it was for film, right, and modeling. So you know how most movies nowadays, when they come out, they are usually having the same set of cast members, right?
Yeah.
The most popular ones.
Where?
Exactly. And I understand it's good for business, right? Because
But-
you exactly. But then there are other talents
Exactly.
that are not so popular that
Exactly.
would probably even do better than those.
Exactly.
Yes, in those situations. And he was talking about putting up an agency that sort of like what
Exactly.
MyMuute does.
That is the goal.
Democratize exactly.
That is
Which is
the goal.
fantastic.
I work with filmmakers.
Yeah.
Most people, I think over 85% of my
Yeah.
team,
Yeah.
my media company, they are filmmakers who studied film, both
Wow.
acting and cinematography.
Interesting.
Right. So
Yeah.
I see them how they fight so hard to get opportunities, and it's crazy.
It's crazy.
So
Because
that's
people are
what- yeah.
talented, right?
Very talented.
And
by
you
them.
know what is even interesting is the fact that people that need their services will probably even get them cheaper and still get, if not the same quality, close to the same quality you get from
Exactly.
those that are anyways.
But as in show business,
Yeah, exactly.
they want the popular.
it's as simple as
But
that.
at least everyone should have an opportunity
Yeah,
to be known,
yeah.
to be seen. I mean, a lot of people should have this opportunity, right? Then-
Fantastic.
yeah.
So we are going to dive a little deeper into MyMuute. But for now, let's talk about what it was like growing up. So you're a founder, you're an entrepreneur, right? So would you say the environment you grew up in, were your parents entrepreneurial? Would you say all of those things sort of like influenced your current career path as a founder and
Well,
entrepreneur?
that's a very great question. So growing up, my parents were not too strict as to, hey, you must do this or you must do that. You understand? But they trained us well. I mean, every of my siblings, if you come across any of my siblings, you just love them.
Interesting.
Just fall in love with them. There's
Yeah.
just this special thing about us, right? My parents were entrepreneurs.
Okay,
My
nice.
mon owned a school. You
Really?
understand? Yeah, my mom
Interesting.
owned a school. My
Yeah.
dad owned his business, and
Nice.
his business grew.
Yeah.
I think he started a business when he got married.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
He quit his job and he started.
So
So,
that's what we were saying earlier.
yeah, we're living comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of average when growing up, but not to the high class average, right? You understand? At least
Yeah,
reasonable average,
yeah.
comfortable. Have a car, have your
Yeah.
house. You
Right.
understand, and everything. Until the point where
Yeah.
everything turned around. Anyway, everything turned around. Really turned
Yes.
around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think from that point I think what happened at that point,
Yeah.
I'm happy
Mm.
for what happened at that point, because I don't think I'll be where I am today if I didn't have to go through all those things I went through. At a point our family was struggling.
Yeah.
And just like anyone who's struggling, you find a way to still push forward.
True,
But
true.
it's placed me in a particular, thinking state
Okay.
of how can I make it.
Wow.
No longer my dad would buy this for
Yeah.
me, you understand? Because my dad would make promises.
Yeah.
I love music.
Yeah.
I even studied music for
Yes.
Musical Society of Nigeria.
Nice.
In fact, graduated as
MUSON, that's MUSON.
Yeah, MUSON.
What? So I've taken grade 2
Wow.
theory of music at MUSON,
That's
yeah, and I
amazing.
passed. I think I got like a 75.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing. Merit.
actually, interesting.
In fact, I graduated
Yeah.
as the best graduating trumpeter.
Wow.
So prior to
Yeah.
doing MUSON and all that, so I had this music thing in me. I was so mad about
Yeah.
it, you understand? And I wanted to be the greatest trumpeter.
Okay.
I mean, world greatest trumpeter.
Yeah, nice.
Honestly,
Nice.
I'm that ambitious.
I
So
mean,
what-
for here we have Nathaniel Bassey. For me, I feel like he's the greatest.
well, in Nigeria,
Yeah.
at least in gospel,
Exactly.
maybe gospel globally even.
Yeah.
You understand? But all this came as a from a place of I couldn't get certain things. You understand? So I started aiming higher.
Yeah.
I started dreaming big. I started like, oh no, I want to do this. I want to achieve this. You understand? My dad would promise me to buy a trumpeter, and he wouldn't buy it, and I'll be looking for ways to
Yes,
buy
I
it myself.
totally
You
get
understand?
that.
So I think everything so far. My dad being entrepreneur in nature.
Yeah.
The guy is a very hardworking man. I mean, he inspires me literally. When I left his home to fend for myself, I went to my friend's place.
That talk plenty for mouth.
No. I will literally give up.
Yeah, wow.
I'll literally give up.
Yeah.
I'll call my mom, and the next morning, though
Yeah.
she'll tell me, you know
Yeah.
what? In the morning, just come home.
Okay.
The next morning, I just remember, your dad. You know they give up.
Yes. Nice.
So who are you the son of?
Hmm.
So it gets me back on my feet and all
Yeah.
that. So I think to a major extent that played a major role in my growing up and got me to where I am today. I still think big. I still aim higher. When I started my business 3 years ago, about 4 years ago, the people who I was on the same level with, I mean, they don't smell my back now. You understand? So I think all those things I went through made me always, what next? Yeah.
That is fantastic. We're going to dive a little deeper into this, but for now, let's talk about education and even early professional career before you founded your many different businesses, and then MyMuute itself.
Okay, education.
Yeah.
Some people, when they ask me this question, they have an ulterior motive in mind, especially ladies.
I promise I don't.
No, especially ladies. You know, ladies, when they're eyeing you, I could end up with this guy, and you get to that point, say, how's your education?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Red
flag.
This is where you're going to see.
Yeah. So I think the natural human is looking for a safe path, right?
Yeah.
So I finished my junior my high school, right? SS and everything. I was the PRO of MUSON. I did my job so well. Everything I put my hands to do, I did it so well. Graded well, high grade, everything. Best graduating trumpeter, best PRO ever that took on that position.
Yes, nice.
But finishing MUSON,
Okay.
I realized that my passion changed from being the world best trumpeter to, you know what, I want to be a billionaire. Because
you did not see being a trumpeter as a path to that.
No.
Interesting.
So what happened?
Yeah.
So what happened was, I realized a lot of challenges facing musicians. I realized a lot. What I'm building now, I realized the challenges when I was in MUSON.
Okay.
Do you understand? So I realized a lot of challenges facing musicians, and from this part of the world again, it's a lot. You understand? And I realized this trumpeter, this musician part, I thought it was the best for me. I've seen something that's actually better because I love to help people. I love to help people solve challenges where people are running away from. Say, there's problems. That's where I want to run to. You understand? And what can we do to just solve this thing? You understand? And I realized this thing is not being a trumpeter. Will not give me.
It's interesting that you pointed out how you got the idea for your company now, because this is one thing that a lot of investors are looking for in founders. Domain expertise, and people who have been directly impacted by the problem they are trying to solve.
Exactly.
Because I feel like those two sets of people, and sometimes some individuals fall on both sides, right? They've been in that industry for a long time and they found this problem that affected them.
Yeah.
So investors feel like people like this have a crazy amount of drive.
Exactly.
Right? And not just drive, because now that you've been in the industry for a while, you know the loops that you're supposed to
You
jump over,
understand?
right?
I have
Yeah.
influence. I have network. In fact, after I started my media company, maybe I'll get to that point. After I started my media
Yeah.
company, I had to start an entertainment company
Mm.
that really does. You know, when they say sell before you build,
Yeah.
I had to validate what I wanted to even do.
before
Understand? I
you-
had to
yeah.
start an entertainment company, working
Right.
with partners, working with event organizers,
Yeah,
event
yeah.
planners, getting musicians for them,
Mm.
and try handling everything for the musician.
Right.
Musician would literally work with me, and all they do is they just come, perform, and leave, and they get paid.
They
I
don't
do
care
all the
about
work.
the background. What
You
is going on in the
understand?
background?
And I'm not
Yeah.
talking about artists, because this is a regular for
Yeah,
artists.
yeah.
But the musician, the gig musicians who just want it, they don't care about you knowing their name.
Yeah.
They just want to walk in there, play, perform, wear their black and white. You know
Yes.
them,
I
the
know them.
violins.
Yes, I
They
know
want to
them.
wear their black and
Yeah,
white,
and leave.
perform, pay
Yeah.
them, they get out. You understand? I helped them do this a lot, and a lot of people wanted to work more
Right,
with me. And
right.
that was when I realized, okay, let's switch it up, baby.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, at the time when you had discovered the problem that was happening, that musicians were facing,
Yeah.
because now we're discussing MyMuute, but there's also Y-Flow,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So, at what point did Y-Flow start?
Okay, Wildlu started before I ended MUSON,
Yeah.
and it came. It'd be funny because it wasn't something I was really passionate about. I just needed to. So the plan was I needed to start a business.
Yeah.
And I needed something to sustain me, and I needed to start a business that I don't need capital.
Okay.
For you understand,
Makes
I was
sense,
in
yeah.
digital skills.
Right.
I was a PRO. I
Right.
was handling media and
Yeah.
everything. You understand? I was like, okay, I have these skills. Let me just say, because I was making a lot of research and I realized the 4 ways to make money.
Yeah.
You can be a self-employed or an employee.
Yeah.
Small money, or you can own a big business or be an investor, big money, and everything still lies on business.
Yeah, business,
I
right.
was like, let me just do a business, right?
Okay,
Everything
yeah.
I'm doing, let me
Yeah.
just put it into a business, you know? And that's how I formed the Y-Flow. You
Yeah.
understand? And the name Y-Flow came as a the idea was like we flow.
Yeah.
You understand? Because most of my guys were remote. We're
Right.
like, let us still do this thing. We'll still be connected. You
Yeah.
understand? So the Y idea is kind of Wi-Fi
Yeah.
flow. You know, so
And
that's how Y-Flow came
In terms
about.
of timeline, around what year was this?
This was 2021.
Okay, just
Yeah.
after the lockdown.
Yeah, exactly.
How was
just
the
after
lockdown for you?
I wasn't taking business in
Yeah.
lockdown. I was in school. I was trying to
right.
make my grades from the way MUSON is so intensified. Like
True.
what you learn in MUSON in
Yeah.
2 years, you don't learn it even though you spend 8 years in the university.
Very, very true.
I'm not
Very,
capping.
very true. So let me bust
capping.
your brain, yeah?
Yeah.
So not necessarily a friend of my elder brothers.
Yeah.
She went to MUSON, right?
Oh.
Then after she was done MUSON, she went to Unilag
Oh.
to get a degree in
What's her
music. Goodness. I don't know if you know her.
Goodness, is it Goody Tunes?
Yes, Goody Tunes.
I
You
know.
know, are you kidding me?
MUSON is like one second. We know ourselves.
Yeah, that is nice.
How many are we? Are we up to 500?
Yeah, so goodness went to Unilag
Yeah.
after. And the lecturer found that there was nothing else to teach her.
There's absolutely nothing. Anybody that's finishing MUSON, they're
No,
just going to
it
get a
is
certificate
crazy.
from
They
Unilag.
bombard you with so much knowledge.
Yes, so
in
much.
very short time.
Very short. And you have to meet up.
Right.
We have this yearly recital.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to
Oh
perform.
my goodness.
Whether you like it or whether you have stage fright or not, you must
You
perform
must
and you
perform.
must ace it. It's like a performance exam.
Yeah.
You see Ashake performing on stage. Come to MUSON, you will see small.
Doing even more
And
interesting.
they are doing things,
Yeah.
pulling things. You understand?
So
it's crazy, yeah.
now you said Y-Flow started in 2021, and
Yeah.
that was before MyMuute, right?
Yeah, that was way before my.
Okay, way before MyMuute. So when did you start to fully conceptualize MyMuute and start making moves to bring it into reality?
Okay. So like I said, I had to start an entertainment company.
Yeah.
And go through this process of selling before
Right.
building. You
Right.
understand? To even validate that this thing is even real.
Yeah.
But even before that entertainment company, when I started Y-Flow,
Yeah.
the goal was let me get financially stable, financially stable, right?
Yeah.
And my plan was 2 years. It would not set. Honestly, my plan was 2 years. It would not set.
Oh, you don't know that you're in Nigeria.
Service business, right?
Yeah.
You can't predict it. But still,
No,
yet.
see, you're in Nigeria. What works? See, concepts, economical concepts that are applied in other economies, they bring them here and they flop so
flop.
badly. I don't understand how
It's
different
crazy.
we are.
It's
It's wild.
crazy. I spend my life since I started
Yeah.
YFLU learning business systems, business structure, hiring teams, firing teams, learning to manage people and
Yeah.
everything. Still yet.
No, but you're doing it. You're doing it.
My brother, I had to learn something, just be flexible.
Right.
I had to learn that, see, you cannot predict tomorrow. Even tomorrow, you don't know what
Yeah,
will happen tomorrow. I can be here tomorrow and I tell the client, let's have this meeting and close this deal by
Yes.
tomorrow morning. And
So
tomorrow, no
many
network.
things. True.
It's that
Very, very
crazy.
true. Very,
You
very
understand?
true,
So
yeah.
I planned 2 years. I could not set. I could not even jack back because my plan was, let me even jack back, go and finish this
Yes.
music, study
Okay,
this music.
nice.
But on the process,
Yeah.
I realized, okay, this thing is even more. This business is more realistic. I love going through that whole
Right,
rules.
right.
I love the
Overcoming challenges.
overcoming challenges and building something big. Being on that, I don't know if you've watched Suits.
I've what?
Oh my
Oh,
god, I love it.
You're here. And
I'm here. Life is here. I'm
And
here.
I'm here.
I
Harry.
love. I love the
Nice.
thrill.
I love Suits.
Yeah, I love the.
I've
thrill
probably
of-
seen that
yeah.
series 1 to 9 like 6 times.
Oh, I'm still on third. I just
love
did
that
top,
stuff.
finished third
Yeah,
some
nice,
previous thing. I want to
nice.
start it again. And it's amazing.
Right.
So at the point I had to just keep YFLU steady because you cannot do a lot at the same time. You
Yeah.
understand? You can't do a lot at the same time. So I had to just keep YFLU steady. And when it got to a point, I realized, okay, we could start this thing. I spoke with my CTO because
Yeah.
I've spent the entire time trying to build a team.
Yeah.
I understand the relevance of a team.
Right.
A strong team.
Right.
Not people who are just good at what they do, but who are invested, passionate, know themselves, have worked together, understanding
team
yourself.
players.
When they get to that point where they can break,
Yeah.
they have that drive to, hey, let us keep together. And we've crossed that stage multiple times, you understand? So I understood that. So at that point, I had to like, okay, I think this time we had our own products
Right.
and we were brainstorming on multiple products we could just come up with and everything. And every one of us on the I have two co-founders.
Yeah.
One is the media,
Okay.
and one is the tech. So
Interesting.
it makes sense.
Yeah,
Why Flo, right?
exactly. Yeah, I'm feeling you guys now.
Yeah, it makes sense. So the media guy is an experienced filmmaker, studied filmmaking, also is
Okay.
a director, and the other one is a mad software engineer. You
Yeah.
understand? So at that point we were like, okay, let us build this thing,
Hmm.
and we started ideating, and MyMuute just came up. And
How did you come up with the name MyMuute?
MyMuute. So just like I said, I've spent my entire time, years in business, studying other businesses,
Yeah.
studying what stands out. I'm in marketing. I learned psychology.
Yeah.
I learn how the online space work. I learn how certain things work. Why people use certain words instead of certain words. Why people use certain images instead of certain images. I look into these
Yeah.
details. I'm very detailed. I'm very
Right.
detailed and analytical person. You understand?
Nice.
So I wanted to personalize. I wanted something that creatives can personalize.
Okay.
You understand? This is sound is noise. Sound is sorry. Music is
Music
sound.
is sound,
Music
yeah.
is sound, and the opposite of music is
It's
noise.
noise, yeah.
Still sound, but it's noise.
Hmm.
You understand? And these distractions that affect creatives, musicians, it's called noise
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Because me wanting to be the greatest trumpeter in the world and not being able to achieve it because of the distraction, I have to do music that I don't like because I want to
Right.
make money.
Exactly.
Because I want to make ends meet. I don't have a place to practice because when I'm practicing, the other compound they are shouting, "Who they play trumpet?"
Oh, these
understand? I know-
are legit problems.
You understand? And I just need to play my
focus on
trumpet.
my stuff, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need to go and book a rehearsal studio that they are charging, 20K per hour. I just want to practice, and I have to do my 4-hour practice
Yeah,
every
yeah,
day.
yeah.
I don't have that space. I don't have a lot of things I don't have. And when I focus on creativity, when I focus on trumpet playing like
Yeah.
this, I don't care about any other thing. I don't want to care about any. I don't want to care about the clients
Building a
telling
business
me
around
building
it.
a business. I
Yeah.
just want to
Just want to
focus on
play my craft.
creativity.
Yeah.
So that's how we got the.
Nice.
I actually conceived the name. I was like, how about something that could help, that could stand as an influence
Yeah.
that says, let's help you solve every other thing, so that you focus on the one thing you know how to
Nice.
do best, create.
Amazing.
So mute.
Yeah.
And we had to make it unique. So
Yeah.
hence the entire.
I love it.
So the personalization
Yeah.
now we had to now bring it MyMuute. So when one thing we are looking at a future where we have a goal beside by 2030 we want to achieve 50,000 financially stable creatives. That's our goal. So once at that point people should be able to say, I have grown from this level to this level with MyMuute.
Wow.
Personalize
Yeah.
it. MyMuute.
MyMuute, yeah.
MyMuite.
I
Your
love
mute.
that.
your solution, your
Right.
your
I
safe
totally
space.
get you.
You get the
Yes.
point, yeah. So that's how it
I
came
mean, MyMuute is fantastic. The name, the thinking behind the name.
about. Yeah.
So now let's dive a little deeper into MyMuute.
Okay.
So you say you take care of whatever happens in the back room, right?
Yeah.
And then the creatives or the musicians only just have to appear when it's time to perform
Yeah.
and then go back.
Yeah.
What has your experience been like managing all those many different components in the background?
Well, it's you know.
I know showbiz is a very crazy place to operate in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize it.
Yeah.
When I get advice from tech advisors,
Yeah.
they give her the
They're talking from their own
You understand? I'm
point
like,
of
these people
understanding.
don't know my company. They don't know my industry.
Right.
You can't tell my industry. I know my industry better. Right? It's not easy. Number one, showbiz is crazy.
Yeah.
Already crazy. There's so little we can do. But tech, having been in other founders community, listening to founders say things, listening to a lot of successful founders, startups build, and the ones who have failed and everything, advisors, listening to multiple people, putting everything and picking the important ones.
Yeah.
I realize that tech is an enabler. It's not necessarily a business on its own that just say, okay, this is tech has to exist on something. Tech enables something. You understand?
That,
So the entertainment we are doing, say the management we are doing,
Yeah.
you see artist managers and everything. People who send artist legal team and everything. If you can bring tech to solve all those things, you understand? Then you have a tech business. And that's what we are trying to achieve with MyMuute. Right now, what we have on MyMuute is we first created, we went from stage to, we had this big idea, but we had to speak with users first. Like, what do you really want?
Right.
And we just discovered their pain. Their pain was, I just want to make more money. So I can focus on creating. You understand?
Yeah.
I just want to make more money so I can focus on creating.
Yeah.
So we had to now start little by little. We realized that beyond them making money, beyond giving them the platform to say get gigs, they had issues they didn't know they have. They fail to promote themselves.
Okay.
Make Music Lagos, you know Make Music Lagos?
No, I don't.
Okay, it's hosted by Showgear.
Okay.
Make Music is a world event, you understand? Brought to Nigeria by Showgear. They've been holding this year after year. I think last year was the 9th or something.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm correct.
Yeah.
But last year I signed a partnership with them and everything to getting users, artists and other musicians. He mentioned something at the music business conference. The host, she said, you people here, you musicians here, you don't know how to profile yourself. I was listening. She said, and I quote, we asked musicians, artists, to send us their profile pictures and social media handles. Look at what we were seeing.
Wow.
No good profiling. I was like, this.
So it's
is
a
where the
branding
problem
problem.
There's a very deep branding problem.
Wow.
This branding problem is a promotion problem. People think it's just talent.
Yeah.
You understand?
Like your talent will speak for you.
Your talent. No, your talent don't speak for you. The people who stand out, the artists. That's why artists are artists. Because they have a team that does all those things for them. That is why they are artists.
Right.
If you're not going to be an artist, then you have to do it yourself. You are still supposed to be regarded as an artist because it is still art.
True.
But you understand
I
the
get
meaning
you,
of an
yes.
artist now is you have this back end team
Exactly.
and there's promotion, there's management, there's legal and everything. If you're not gonna be that big as that kind of artist, you should be a small artist, an indie artist. You understand? But can do all these things for yourself, promote yourself, brand yourself. You know, your legal this thing. You are collecting a gig from a client and you are closing deal on call. No written document. Not even WhatsApp message that says this is what you are paying me.
Yeah.
I mean, we see these things.
You need paper trail like for evidence now.
Brother,
and that's what we are saying now. They don't know.
So we had to first create a website, free website for musicians. Come and host your website, just like every other thing we see there. You understand? We had to do this and hey, musicians, come and use this profile as your website. List your experience, your performance experience, everything. List your featured images and your minor skills, major skills, everything. You understand? We went on to the stage of creating what we call booking cards.
Okay.
So the booking cards, the way it works is wherever you close a client, whether on call, on WhatsApp, anywhere on Instagram, come to your MyMuute, create a booking card, put all the information about that gig.
Nice.
then send when you click on approve and
Yeah.
you know create booking,
Yeah.
feed everything,
Mhm.
date, time, everything you and the client has
I've
agreed on.
Yeah.
You send a link to the client to say,
Yeah.
please just check this thing to be sure we are in
Yes.
sync.
Okay.
When the client comes there, it shows and they approve the booking.
Okay.
That's a confirmation that they're in agreement.
Nice.
Because
Nice.
tomorrow when
I
you
love
get to that gig,
Yeah.
exactly. Tomorrow when you get to that gig and the client says,
This is
our
not what we agreed.
our
Yeah.
you get some of them will use
Yeah.
we see this always. They're like, our guests have not arrived, please can you play extra 2 hours? And you tell them you have to pay more. You say, no, I won't pay you extra if that's it.
Okay.
I'm like, you told me I'll perform from this time
Yes.
and I've been
Yes.
performing. Your guest coming late is not my problem.
Exactly. It's not my problem.
So you have to pay extra. But clients never, because these clients, they are business people already.
Right.
They know that there's no legal thing, so
yeah,
they can
yeah,
do anything
they
they
can do as
want.
they like.
But how about if you have something to write, something written that's document and say this, you agree to
Right.
this.
Right.
You want to take it up, we'll take it up.
Yes.
You understand? And this is what creatives face. They don't know this thing.
Yeah.
They don't know they have this issue. So we have to now start solving those issues little by
Nice.
little, and that's where we are right now.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, MyMuute is creating a different world for creatives and musicians here in Nigeria.
Exactly.
You know, when I think about what the end will probably look like, I'm like, creators with even less than a year experience can connect with people that need them.
Need them. Without having to wait for another issues with this creatives face, especially musicians. I'm talking about musicians because we have to solve one of it. We're looking at how this can actually solve as many creatives, you understand. Another thing they face is if you don't know somebody or if someone doesn't know you, then you don't have that opportunity. Why?
True.
And that third party who is giving you the gig, I've attended gigs in the past where me as a musician, I'm supposed to be paid 500k or 200k, but because someone invited me, they will pay me 20k. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. 20k instead of 200k. I don't know. I feel like it's an opportunity to perform on big stage.
I don't know what they've collected.
That margin is too much.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to collect it, and you're not just collecting from one person.
Yes,
we're talking about a large orchestra, large band of 50 people, 40 people.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't make sense.
That is exploitation.
So that's why we call it democratizing luck. You
Wow.
understand? We have to democratize this thing, make it easier for musicians to get direct,
that's
and direct bookings
that
and all these
fantastic.
things, because they get to make more money.
Right.
And this creative economy we are shouting. When musicians are making more money, then the economy will be booming.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I want to ask a very interesting question. How have you guys figured pricing? Now, I know it's not set in stone, considering the complexities around the industry. So how are you guys navigating that challenge?
So pricing is not much of a big deal, but it's a very important factor. So we had to come up with, earlier on my CTO was like, let's charge from the one. I was like, we don't know what we are charging for yet. He's wanting to charge. We understand that charge from day one to validate that your users really want it. But I was like, calm down. We don't know what we are charging yet.
We've not even figured anything out yet.
So it's just recently we came up with a pricing structure and we are pushing out with new updates.
All right.
You understand? And new channels updates.
Yeah.
So it's a 2 pricing structure.
Okay.
One, there is a premium feature, you understand, structure where you have access to premium features beyond the basic features. That one is a normal SaaS
standard,
model, you understand. Then the commission-based model, you understand. It's a normal SaaS model, but because it's entertainment, one person can get 10k gig today. As little as it is, I'm telling you, people do 10k gig. I'm telling you. I'm like, when I see it on group chats, I'm like, if you spend transport on this gig,
how much are you saving exactly?
But people do it. But one person will get 10k gig today and get 100k gig tomorrow. I mean, we get 500k gig next. How do you want to do commission? You want to set plenty models and everything. So that's what we're figuring out right now. We don't have it set in stone, but we have a structure around it right now, because it's very crazy. So what we're doing is we are speaking with partners, because we have these third parties that even get gigs for. We don't want to throw them out of the market because they rely on this for their living. So we are trying to help them leverage tech to even earn more money. Some of them just refer gig, you understand. We are building a structure where they can refer gig and earn from it, you understand, and set the pricing structure. But basically right now our 2 models are subscription and commission.
So you mentioned that creators or artists can like send rate cards through MyMuute.
Yeah.
So do you guys? How do I put this? I'm a creator, I'm a musician, and I come to MyMuute, right? And I'm telling you guys, I need more gigs. So when you get me those gigs, do you agree on that pricing with the organizers of the event I'm going to perform at,
Okay.
or do I play a part in?
And whether we can't do that. See, yeah, this particular one,
Yeah.
I already knew it before I started my mute. I said my mute.
Yeah.
I tried doing it.
Okay.
I did it like for a few events.
Yeah.
But I realized it wasn't working because
Mm.
I need to work with the best musicians. I
Okay.
like working with the best my
Yeah.
entertainment environment entertainment.
Yeah.
I like working with the best musicians
Yeah.
I find, you understand. I have around and I have some of the best
Mhm.
musicians in Lagos. Talk about the best violinists in
Right.
Lagos, the best saxophonists you can find.
Yeah.
You know, I work with them. They are my friends, close
Yeah.
friends. We went
Yeah.
to school together, everyone,
Right.
you understand. These
Right.
guys are exceptional, you understand. But I realized I cannot always set their pricing.
Mm.
So sometimes I have to always ask them periodically,
Yeah.
Alpha, what's the least you can collect for this kind of event?
Okay,
What's the
okay,
least you can collect for this kind of
okay.
event? You know? So they tell me, they give me a benchmark,
Yeah.
you understand? So when I'm negotiating with clients, I know
Alright,
what to say, you understand?
where you cannot
So when it
go
comes to
below.
my mute, it's too much.
Hmm.
How many people do you want to be communicating with?
Right,
You understand? I want to
right.
make the process seamless for the client
Yeah.
because they are the customers. They don't want too much issues. I've
Mhm.
worked with clients who even to answer my questions is hard for them.
Hmm.
They just want to book someone and
And-
give me somebody. Let me come. Honestly, they are frustrating, but they bring the money, so why
Yeah,
not?
I can.
So
I can
we
imagine.
cannot do that. So what we are implementing on MyMute is a messaging feature. You
Okay.
understand? Where clients will come on board.
So it's
So
more like a marketplace now.
it's a marketplace,
Yeah.
you know. So we have not launched the marketplace
Okay.
right now. What we have is the part for the musicians,
Okay.
and you know, having given them access to the
Yeah.
booking card and
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
and also partners who refer
Mhm.
gigs to them. So in a few months before the
Yeah.
end of the year, we'll launch our marketplace, and what we'll do is, I think what we'll do is we'll give the clients
Yeah.
access to put their budget,
Okay.
or maybe a budget range.
Oh,
You
nice.
understand?
Yeah.
And maybe the musician also can set, this is how much I charge for this kind of
Mhm.
event, like, or
Mhm.
maybe this is the range I charge for this
Yeah.
kind of event. Some of
Yeah.
them like doing that. So I don't know how, but a messaging feature will
Right.
definitely
Yeah.
do this. You know,
Simplify
it's just
that.
like chatting someone on
Mhm.
Instagram
Mhm.
or WhatsApp. You know,
That makes
say I
perfect
want you for
sense.
this event,
Yeah.
and how much will you charge?
It's fantastic what you guys are doing with
It's a
MyMuite.
lot back end.
Do you know, knowing what it's like being in showbiz,
Yeah.
and then working with creatives that can be very unpredictable.
Very unpredictable.
Exactly. And then infusing tech into all this.
My brother.
You guys are amazing people.
I think
You guys are
I think
amazing
that's the hard things. The hard
Exactly.
things they
And
say.
someone must
hard
do the
things.
hard things.
Someone has to do
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Someone has to
As
do it.
we wind down, I just want to ask a couple of personal questions.
Okay.
Do you still perform? Yeah, as a trumpeter, when was the last time, if you can remember?
Blockbuster.
Okay.
Is it Blockbuster or Bubble Buster? I don't know how
That
they
was
say it.
that was when.
No, I mean, I just want to.
Okay.
Yeah. So, recently, sometime last year, I
Yeah.
think toward the end of last year,
Mhm.
I used to have clients who always they love listening to my trumpet
Right.
sounds. When I was in MUSON, they
Yeah.
called me the heavenly trumpeter.
Okay. Okay.
In fact, I'm one of the few trumpeters who break a lot of records anywhere I am.
Yeah.
I'm a deeper lifer.
Okay.
If you heard about something that happened 2021 Deeper Life Church,
Yeah.
Pastor Kumi, some youth celebrated Pastor Kumi's birthday.
Yeah.
Interrupted the church, the entire headquarters.
Wow.
I'm the trumpeter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I've always had that
Yeah.
influence, you understand?
Yeah.
People love to see me perform.
Okay.
They love to listen to me
Mhm.
perform, watch me perform. People. So last year, towards the end of the year, I had to stop performing for a while. And
Okay.
clients had to literally request from me, see, you must come
must
to
be
my
the one to do
event,
it."
though. You must be the
Yeah.
one performing. It was difficult for me because I love putting excellence
Yeah.
into what I do.
Yeah.
And I've not rehearsed for a long time. My
Mm.
fingers are. I still have it in me. If I
Yeah.
pick the trumpet now, you
Mhm.
hear me and you love my sound, but
yes.
it's not me
You're
again.
flowing as yes.
I don't rust.
I totally
I
understand
don't
that.
rust. So I'm not there
Yeah.
again, and I don't. I'm trying to come back
All
now.
right.
The business is, trying to,
Yeah.
at least the hustle I used to hustle last year,
yeah.
not coping with a lot of
Okay.
things. I'm coping with certain things because I
Yeah.
have people I've dedicated certain
All
things
right.
to now. But
All right.
I'm looking for a way I can come back because I still love trumpet playing.
I can imagine, right?
Still love it.
Because instrumentalists is hard to part with. Okay, so now do you think people in the industry, like event organizers, do they appreciate like violinists that play classical music? I want to rephrase this question in a way that is very clear. So mainstream music in Nigeria is
Afrobeat.
Afrobeats. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. And most of the people that go to MUSON focus
It's
on
classical,
classical
actually.
music.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, from your experience, how do you see event planners according the same kind of respect to these two different types of artists?
When you talk about respect,
Right.
it's another conversation. But I think I'll touch
I
both.
feel like they would appreciate the mainstream more than these
No,
guys because
no.
they don't know the amount of work these ones
It's
have
a,
put
it's, a,
into.
it's preference.
Okay.
It's preference. So I'll touch that part of respect,
Yeah.
and I'll touch the part of preference.
Okay.
The part of respect,
Yeah.
these classical musicians are actually more valued. I,
Really?
I won't lie to you.
Even here in Nigeria.
I'm telling you.
Nice.
Here in Nigeria,
Nice.
classical musicians are more valued because they are very rare to find.
Right.
When you find a violinist, that is good.
Hmm.
You pay them well.
Hmm.
I promise you, except the ones that don't really do classical, the ones that really do big events.
Right.
I've worked with them.
Okay.
What they are willing to pay a drummer, drum ensemble,
Yeah.
is different. It's not even up to the tenth of what they are willing to pay
Wow.
a chamber orchestra,
Yeah.
string
Wow.
quartet.
Wow.
I'm telling. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So those classical musicians are respected.
Okay.
Are respected in Nigeria,
Right.
except if they don't respect themselves.
Hmm.
That's why MUSON stands out. Anyone who goes to MUSON,
Yeah.
whether you sabi play or not,
Yeah.
you're a professional.
Professional.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. There's just this
Your
thing
composure
about
and your work ethic.
every single thing.
Nice.
It's professional.
Nice.
The money you are earning
Yeah.
is more than that person who learns violin on the streets. I'm telling you, way more. I've worked with multiple people.
Right.
Even in my church, YPF music,
Yeah.
we have different instrumentalists. Muson bread,
Yeah. And
street
some other
bread,
schools, yes.
church bread.
Okay.
These people go to gigs. I know how much they earn.
Hmm.
It's so different.
Mm.
Muson guys
Yeah.
now. So that's a place of respect anyway. Then the thing of preference.
Yeah.
It's about the event actually.
Okay.
There are certain event organizers, they know what they want.
Okay.
You understand? They know what they want. They will tell you, I want violin players to play
Yeah.
some serenade. And
Yeah.
some will tell you, I want the violin player who can play with DJ.
Okay.
They know what they want. Most of
Mm.
them know what they want. And I've also had, maybe church choir leader, church choir director that
Yeah.
wants a violin, that wants string quartet to play with their choir for Christmas
All
carol.
right. All right.
Those ones, they don't really know what they want. I'm telling you, they just see it happen.
Yes. Yes.
You understand? They see it at events and they want to inculcate into their church. And when you
Yeah.
give them below, like, when they
Is
tell you
it not
this,
just?
it's
Is
not
it not just?
You understand? They tell you what they are building. I'm like, what do you think?
What do you mean?
What do you think these musicians are? You understand? But the
Yeah.
mainstream, you understand, mainstream events,
Mhm.
event organizers, they usually know what they
Right.
want. You understand?
Right.
Some of them don't know what they want. They ask.
Yeah.
You understand? But I think to a large extent, I've
Okay.
worked with a lot of them.
Yeah.
I've worked with big event organizers. I've worked with big event planning companies, Eventful,
Right.
a lot like that. You understand? They usually know what they want.
Okay.
Basically, you understand? Do they want classical music or
Mm.
they want a mix of both? They
Yeah.
want classical music that can also play pop.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to an event that they asked for a chamber orchestra, string quartet, and when I told the guys, hey, this place is looking boring. Please switch
Switch
to
it up.
switch it up. You understand?
yeah.
Play Afrobeat.
Yeah.
String quartet started playing. The event organizers, no, please stick to
Wow.
classical.
Wow.
I'm like,
really interesting.
honestly, like,
Interesting.
stick to classical,
Yeah.
please.
Hmm.
I want classical. If I wanted Afrobeat, I would
would have
let you
told
know.
you, exactly.
I was like, okay,
Hmm.
okay, no problem.
So they
You-
actually know some, know what they want.
most of them know what they want.
All right.
So,
Final question.
okay.
Not final question. I have two more. But this one, what kind of music do you listen to? Since you grew up with classical music, what kind of music do you listen to? Or are
I
you,
don't leave it to myself.
Yeah,
with
exactly. I was going to
listening.
say that. Are you open to different genres?
I'm actually open to.
Yeah.
So I think mine is based on season.
Okay.
There's points where I would like almost try last year, maybe like mid of last year to the end of last
Yeah.
year. I was listening to Chike.
Okay.
Once I open my music app, it's
Yes,
Chike.
it's Chike.
I just want to listen to
Interesting.
Chike to the end.
Interesting.
Except when I'm praying for something,
Okay.
I need to listen to the
Yeah.
particular music,
All
or
right.
I need to enjoy a particular moment with Yanni.
Yeah.
Yanni's
Hmm.
soft music.
Yeah, I love it.
I
love
rarely
Yanni.
listen to
You know, it was
classical
my dad
music.
that puts me on Yanni.
Oh,
Like
that's
my
so
dad loves
beautiful.
Yanni so much.
Beautiful.
Yanni and country music.
Even my dad,
Yeah.
got us into
He's a very
Yanni.
big music
Yeah.
guy.
Then,
Last question.
Yeah.
How do you unwind?
Oh, unwind after
Yeah.
the stress and
Yeah.
everything. When I want to, tell my brain, like, bro, calm down. I play games. I play mobile
Oh, yeah.
games.
Okay, nice. Call of Duty.
No, I don't do Call of
Okay.
Duty.
Yeah.
Everyone does Call of Duty and it's so intense. It's just like walking, just like being a startup.
my younger brother, when he's playing Call of Duty, you can be talking, shouting his name, he will not hear you.
It's so intense.
I don't understand. I like games. Oh, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a fan of mobile games. I like playing consoles.
Oh,
So, but I found people that are they don't really care as long as it's a game they're going to play.
yeah, that's me. That's me.
Interesting.
But not Call of Duty. I tried it multiple
Yeah.
times, but I had to quit because it was now like I was just switching from from realistic
Yeah.
world of being busy to gaming world of being
Yeah,
busy.
being busy.
So I just play games. So whenever I even play
Yeah.
games, the game I play, I make sure they are offline games.
Okay.
So my data is turned off
Yeah,
on my
nice.
phone. My data
Exactly.
no notification is
Yeah.
coming
So
and
that you can
everything.
just
I just
focus
play,
on
and
something.
I'm not trying to. It was I think sometime last week or last week,
Yeah.
my brother there was a game we all have at
Alright,
home on
alright.
our
Okay.
devices. We usually I've gotten to this
Okay.
level, yes.
Okay.
I'm like, really? Yeah, I've passed like 3,000
Yeah.
levels. I didn't
Yes.
realize
Yeah.
because I'm not aiming for I
For
want to
that,
achieve
yeah,
this.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to play game to rewind. The purpose is to
I know that is
rewind.
like a whole industry on its own.
My
now.
brother
But
is
that
a
was
whole-
another conversation.
I'm
entirely.
planning to infuse game into my mute. Well, that's what it. And also, I watch
Yeah.
movies.
Okay, nice.
I mean, I
Nice.
watch action movies and
Yeah.
entrepreneurial movies. I can be very I can be very obsessed about entrepreneurial
Yeah.
movies
Hmm.
because I can watch it 10 times and again. I want to
Right.
learn every detail. I want to know
Exactly.
why this guy made this decision.
Yeah.
If I didn't see this from the beginning, I saw it at the end. I want to go back to the beginning. And I mean, I've learned a lot from movies actually.
I can imagine. I've also learned a lot from movies like Suits, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's been amazing.
Thank you very much.
Speaking with you, Samuel.
Yeah.
You're my namesake.
Yeah, right. but another reason why I love to go with Sammy Flow is only one.
Right? And I'm Black Sam. So
Oh,
we still
that
try
makes
to
sense.
differentiate.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's really
Thanks
it on
very
this
much.
week's episode of the Made in Africa podcast. Tune in next week, Thursday, and we're going to have another amazing guest like Samuel share their story with us. I'm your host, Kemish Samuel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Thank you.